only to, oh, sorry, speaker lady. Not only to the elite coaches, but all of you that have achieved any level on the leadership ladder for, I guess, for 2022, right? Yes. Um, that's huge. And that's actually a really big part of this year. And I think Gabby is that what you're walking us through, Gabby? I think that is what she's going to talk about tonight. Just like how important that is, and um, paving the way so that a lot of you newer coaches on the call who think elite is this big lofty, like way out of reach goal, can see that no, like you do the activities, you climb the ladder, and you really focus on that, and you will get to elite. Maybe this year right out of the gate in your first year, maybe it's going to be next year, but it's really important to understand how to do it.
I take that daily.
Huh? Oh, was that just somebody hopping on? How to do it, and just that's what we're going to talk to you about, is just how to clue you in and teach you how to reach the goal of elite and what it means to us, those of us that did hit it this year. I don't know if is Brooke on. I know Dana had to be gone. I think Brooke and Dana, yeah, they couldn't be on tonight, but we have like Haley too. I don't know if Logan's on. We have more coaches on this call that have hit huge ranks on the leadership ladder, including elite, and I'm sure they could add a little something too. But anyway, Gabby, go, because I know you have like all the info.
All right. So I've been a coach forever, like 7 years. So if you have been around for a while, whatever you consider a long time, and you feel like you're not where you should be with your business or whatever, just know that some of us are just tortoises, and that's okay. Some people are hares. Everyone's business is going to move at a different pace. So don't feel like, well, I just must not be, they must not be for me because I haven't achieved all these great things that, the, Megans and Brooke Andersons that started and like immediately saw pretty massive success with their business. It can happen slow, and that's okay. Like there's pros and cons to it happening both ways. All right. So with that being said, my general timeline from about this time last year, right before the Destin retreat. Let me not misspeak. Yeah, last year, I was 2-star, and had hit Premier a little bit by accident. I wasn't paying attention to the road to elite stuff, and so that's why we thought it would be timely. Thank you for Melissa for kind of pushing this conversation happening this early in the year, to just bring awareness to it, because ignorance is not bliss when it comes to, if you start seeing success in your business, you don't want to do what I did and be about halfway through the year and then be like, oh shoot, like I wasn't even paying attention to these things the first half of the year. And had I realized these certain things, I would have made decisions differently. So about October last year, I was 2-star, and then one requirement for elite, and I think we're going to have a more like nitty gritty training with Doug Moss at some point about elite things, because some things have changed a little bit for this coming year. But one of the requirements that there is, at least for the elite, it was 5-star. So I hit 5-star sometime in like late spring. And then that's when it came to me, like was brought to my attention, like, oh yeah, you should go for elite now. And I was like, what is elite? Like, I feel like I barely caught my breath trying hard to hold 5-star. Like, what? It's one thing at a time. So if I had been focusing on these other activities leading up to that 5-star hold, elite would have probably been achieved even earlier in the year. And so if you're thinking like, there's no way I'm going to be 5-star, or I'm nowhere close to that. If you do the activities that lead you to qualifying for elite, it's highly likely that your rank is going to reflect that. So the first thing is and you guys just like stop me or interrupt me, my other elite people and road to elite people, if you're like, oh, you're getting too much in the weeds. But a huge emphasis is on your team, your personally sponsored coaches hitting Success Club. And it's especially your new coaches hitting Success Club, meaning those who enrolled in the previous year and the current year. So that is the toughest category of elite related things, road to elite stuff, to get people to achieve. Because as a newer coach, if you signed up, if you're on this call and you signed up so in 2020, 2020 or 2021, like raise your hand or put it in the chat. So like, as someone who has only been signed up for a year or two, the idea of you hitting Success Club consistently is hard. Like, it can be hard. So imagine your coaches like hitting Success Club consistently in the beginning. So whenever I realized that that was a huge requirement, I knew a little bit better where to channel my energy and my attention, not meaning I'm like waiting for my veteran coaches to be like, yeah, we disappeared for you. But your coaches that have been around longer than that, they've been around, they've had access to your team pages, to your team calls. So they kind of know the things. So it's putting the emphasis on those newer coaches, so they're not slipping through the cracks just because they're new. So that's a huge part of the Road to Elite program, is having your newer coaches qualify for Success Club. And let me also just mention, it also is you qualifying for Success Club. You can't move on the Road to Elite if you are not hitting Success Club. It's how these points are calculated. There is a whole worksheet on how your points are tallied up and all of that stuff that you can look at. So just be having that mindset of, how can I help my newer coaches hit Success Club? And if you were a newer coach and you were able to hit Success Club fairly consistently, think about what worked for you. How are you inviting people to come on as a newer coach? And that is how you can encourage your team to come on. Or maybe what are some things you did that didn't work well that you can help mentor your new coaches through. Another point category that can have a pretty big impact. And this is, to me, this is like a little golden nugget. And I think it's probably the way I hit elite, is getting your brand new coaches. Now, this is a totally different category, and it is your coach that signed up in the previous month or in the current month, getting just one Success Club point, just one. So not hitting Success Club, but if they can do that, the weight that carries towards your elite goal is pretty big. Now, if they hit Success Club, that's great, but there's a whole nother point that you get for that. I feel like I'm getting into the nitty gritty of stuff, and I didn't mean to. So again, with that in mind, when you are signing up a new coach, do not be chicken to encourage them to invite somebody to come do it with them. Like, right out the gate, I don't care if they say I'm a discount coach or I'm not trying to recruit or whatever. Just say, hey, while you have, even if there's someone that agreed to sign up as a coach, to do you a favor, or like, okay, like, I'll do it, but I'm probably going to cancel it before the 30 days or whatever. You never know that they might just be too nervous to tell you that they actually would like to try to invite people. I was kind of like that. So they might need that encouragement and that push. Like, while you have the ability to earn commission before you cancel, is there anybody that comes to mind that you might want to do this with you, or start this program with you, or start the next round of it? And just kind of helping them just get that one person. And if they can get the one person, then it leads to the conversation of, well, if you actually just get 2 more people to do that, Beachbody will give you some free customers next month. And then you can earn a little extra, even more money off of it. Is it something that you want to do? And just let it kind of go. So we don't want to shove people into Success Club in their first month too hard, but even if they can get that one win, so bring yourself to being that brand new coach. You just signed up last month or this month. and you got that one person in your very first month. Like, I was so excited to get my first person in my very first month when I bought my set of DVDs of T25 and Shakeology. I was so excited to just have one person who was going to do it with me. So how many of those did you get last year? The people who got 1 point, 13. I have my little point thing up. So this is how I tracked it. I needed to print a new guide. I keep like a notebook like this, and it's where I track my stuff every month. And then I had my elite stuff here. There's a form you can find in the coach office. You can print it off, and I ghetto taped it to the front of this notebook, and it's how I tracked each category. And I know that probably sounds super scary and intimidating, but when you see it happening each month, it starts to all kind of click together, and you start realizing, like, putting together the points and how you earn them and yada yada. But to me, those are the two categories. The other stuff you earn points towards elite will happen naturally. Haley helped me like not freak out about this if those other things are happening. So you're going to see other categories that you're going to go, she didn't talk about this stuff, but you won't really need to worry about those that much. If you are hitting Success Club consistently and you have newer coaches hitting Success Club consistently, it doesn't matter if it's the same newer coaches either. Like, you can have one coach that signed up in, let's just use 2022, for example, it's just easier, but it can be people in 2021 too. Let's say you signed up a new coach in January and they hit Success Club 6 times this year. That's huge. Like, that's huge for that point category. And that's not relying on the same person to hit Success Club every single month. On average, it's Haley can probably come in and help me with this, or Megan. I feel like on average, you probably need around 2-ish, 3-ish.
2 to 3.
2 to 3 each month. So you might have 1 month and have several hit it. And then you might have some months where only 1 or 2 people hit it. But that's about on average what you're looking to get. So some months you might find yourself pushing a little bit harder. Those months are called October, November, and December. And then some months it might come a little bit more naturally, say through like a program launch or something like that. So those 2 categories are major. And I just wanted to bring those to your attention because I know we get scared of working with brand new coaches. I was anyway, and talking about Success Club or talking about helping that first person right away. Oh, we just want them to work their journey and do their own thing before I want to push them. But you're not necessarily pushing them. You're just kind of laying out for them something they might be wanting to do anyway, which is get someone else to come on board and do it with them. So how am I recruiting with PCs?
I do want to say, like, just a quick little story about the PSSC 1 category. And like, Gabby, where were your points? So we have this push thread. It was me, Haley, Gabby, Dana, Brooke. Yeah, the 5 of us, right? And all year we were pushing for elite. Like, you shot up between like September and December because of the PSSC 1 category. And that's not something I really focused on. I was like, very much trying to stay on top of the 2 to 3 coaches hitting Success Club every month. But that made me realize like how major that category is. And like, I wish I knew the numbers on your points, because I wanted to kind of tell everybody, because there was a while there where I would get on my call with Doug and Doug's like, hey, tell me where your girls are at. And I told him to look up Gabby, and he's like, oh, she's cutting it close. But you guys, by December, like all 5 of, or well, Haley in spirit, Haley the year before, look, she's coming back. She didn't tell me that, but she is. All 4 of us hit elite the same week. Or it was like a week from each other. Like we were right there. And I think it was primarily because like Gabby was like, I'm going to take advantage of this PSSC1 category. And I'm pretty sure Dana did the same thing too. But yeah, anyway, so I don't know. I just wanted to share like how much of a hustle that was. But it seemed, I mean, we were up late nights, but it seemed more balanced because there is that category and we just don't think about it. And it's important because you're getting your new coaches like their foot in the door, like that's a confident, like you said, like I was so excited to have one person buy the DVDs and do it with me. Well, yeah, that's like a huge confidence boost for a new coach and you're paving the way. And, for the longest time, I felt so bad for pushing my new coaches to hit Success Club because it felt like a me goal. But I look at over the last 9 years of everybody I have pushed and they've seen great success with this business. So, like it really is a team. Yes, a team effort. SC means success for their biz. Okay, go.
All right. I'm trying to, I know what I talk about shouldn't have anything to do with who's on here, but all right. Because we don't have anyone from corporate on this call, y'all don't share this call outside of anything else. I did, slightly incentivize those new coaches if they got their first person that first month. It did not like dig into, commission a lot, but I let them know up front, like, this is how important I think this is for you to get your one person. And if it would help for you to pass this gift on to your customer, use it as your own like one-time mini promo code, whatever you need to do to kind of get that one win. Those are things that, it just depends on what your goals are and what you're pushing towards and how things are tracking. But, the same way that some of our uplines might reward us for hitting Success Club, I thought of it in a similar fashion, but it just looked a little bit different since it was a brand new coach and we were looking for their very first win. And I think it also just gave them a little confidence boost that they kind of had that in their back pocket as something that they could. I mean, our commission is awesome on this stuff anyway, but I think just having that little extra incentive that they knew they were only getting from me, that wasn't something that they could get anywhere else. If it would also additionally help, the investment they already made, that's just a personal call. I'm motivated by that kind of stuff. So, like we have that fast start bonus plus category. Like if I'm close to that category, like I'm finding that fifth coach or PC to sign up. Like I'm highly motivated by knowing I can make one little move and make an extra $100 or whatever that is. So that's just a tip for that PS+1 category part. And I really do think, I bet that if Beachbody pulled data, that the reason they put an emphasis on this category is because if coaches probably have at least one Success Club point in their first month or the month after they've signed up, their likelihood of continuing is likely increased, or they see more success down the road. So there's a reason why they make this such a big stinking deal.
Have you seen that with the incentives that you've given? Have you seen them continue with coaching?
A lot of them. I don't know that it necessarily incentivized them to go and like then hit Success Club consistently every month, but a lot of those, I'm looking at the names on my list, a lot of them did remain as coaches, at least like they at least stayed on. And some of them have brought on like people here and there as customers. So there has been some retention, I think, especially as I'm looking at these names from people who signed up as like, okay, I'll do it, but I'm probably going to cancel before the 30 days. Like I've been surprised to see them placing their own personal order here and there. And by the way, that +1 can be, I've told them like that person could be your spouse. Like your spouse could make, is there something else you wanted to try? Like have your spouse order as a customer. You're going to get the same discount, even though they don't get the discount. Like your account earns the commission. It's not going to cost you anything more. And you're going to get this gift from me. for having a customer, and so they get to try something else, like maybe another product. And then of course you just have to gauge based on the coach. If you think they're going to be a working coach, you want to try to get that in the same month so they have their HD order in place already. If it's like the next month and like they're probably not going to order for themselves again, and not have their own personal Success Club order they need, then I might say, well, I'm just going to, we're going to work to just get this one point. And if that's where your your coaching stuff ends, and that's okay. Like you won, you got a bigger discount on some product. It helped me towards a goal.
So are you saying this to people in the conversation in terms of enrollment? Are you saying like, are you willing to help me with this and enroll as a coach versus signing them up as a PC?
Sometimes, sometimes, towards the end of the year, I slowed my roll on coach enrollments, because Elite, let me rephrase this, because for Elite, the coaches we need to hit Success Club count the year before, the prior year they signed up, and the current year is the calendar year. So if I signed up a coach in December, so Anna Dixon just chatted with me. She signed up with Control Freak in 2020 in December. So I only really got 1 year out of her for Elite. And she was hitting freaking Success Club and Success Starter, but I only got 1 year out of her for Elite. So now that it's 2022, if she's hitting Success Club, it does not go towards my Elite anymore. So I would say another Elite person might need to chime in here. If you're still like a new builder, I wouldn't necessarily use that as a strategy. Like, I think if you have coaches ready and if you're not diamond, like screw everything I pretty much just said. Like, you need to be taking on coaches when like they're coming and ready to get started and work. Like that's what you need to do. I would say if you're star diamond and Premier Elite is something you're looking at, November, December, I would be pumping the brakes on coach enrollment so that you can enroll them in January and get a full 2 years of, because say like they just work their own journey for that whole first year. It just takes them a minute to get their confidence up. And then that next year they like hit the ground running. Well, if they had signed up in December the year before, you would have only gotten that 1 year out of them. And I think we can use the preferred customer program strategically with that. So with early access, in December, I did not sign up any coaches, but thankfully preferred customers could get started, and their timeline doesn't start for Elite purposes. Okay. What else? What kind of incentives did you offer? Dollar bills, the green kind. But I also had incentives for my coaches who were hitting Success Club too. So if they also hit Success Club, then they got, they'd get some swag too. So a lot of them were motivated to try to get some of that stuff.
So there were some earlier questions, like what was the moment that you were like, I got to go for it? How did you get your team on board?
I hit 5-star with all veteran coaches. All of my diamonds had been with me for a while. So, they helped obviously tremendously in hitting 5-star and holding it for 6 weeks, which was amazing. Their Success Club activity had no impact on qualifying for Elite in the other categories though. So I think I just really that sounds so cliche, like leaned in with those newer coaches and just made a point to try to, if any of them are on, maybe you can tell me what I did that helped you feel empowered or motivated to start sharing your journey and inviting people, so that we had a couple newbies just come that I swear said like, one, they didn't want to sign up as a coach anyway, and they kind of did it, and then they kind of liked the products, and then they kind of started sharing it a little bit, and it just took a handful of those girls hitting Success Club here and there um, to rally. I don't know if that was a great answer for that or not.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense, you know, leaning into what you have and going from there. What is something that you changed out of your routine or with your business that helped you see success?
Mm, I need my veteran girls to answer this. Did I do anything differently this year than last year? I shared my goals a lot this year. I don't know what goals I really had before this year. 2-star. Thankfully, again, those veteran coaches wanted it for themselves too. So they pushed together and hit 2-star or their diamonds at the same time. They held at the same time. So there was a lot of camaraderie with that. And I think them seeing success inspired other people on my team to see success. And so starting last January, February, it was Team Cup. So if you're new, Team Cup is coming up. I had a couple new diamonds get on that call, or they became new diamonds after that. I had them set goals, and at least one of them said, I want to be diamond by the end of the year. And she was diamond by April. But she said, if I hadn't have gotten on that Team Cup and I hadn't have set that goal for the end of the year, like, I don't know where my business would have been. So setting goals early on and sharing them, sharing what Elite was and just talking about it, what it was and what I needed.
That was also a trickle down effect for you, Gabby, because like as your upline who has been watching you for, I mean, pretty much as long as I've been a coach, 7 years, you said. Are you sure it's not 8? I feel like it's 8. It'll be 8 this year. Like there was a distinct difference of Gabby saying like, I'm doing it versus she's really doing it. Like she really went all in, not this past year, but the year before that. And I think that's important too. Like, it was your 2-star year where you were like, Gabby's doing the things. And like, even at our retreat in Destin, we were all getting drunk and having a good time. And Gabby was over there with her laptop out at the pool getting shit done because she was going to hit Elite. She knew where her points were. She knew what she had to do to get there. And she said, well, I got to put in a little bit of work today because I know where I need to be by this time. And so this is, I'm going to do my invites. I'm going to do, whatever her activities were. And so, it was a matter of like just talking about it and then actually doing it. So that was just my 2 cents from seeing you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
But she was, trust me, she made up for it in the nighttime. But we won't go into details about how crazy Gabby is. I'm just kidding. You're a good girl, Gabby.
You're funny. And just if you're also newer, to clarify, when we talk about Elite points, those are not the same thing as Success Club points. They're 2 completely different recognition programs. So when you hear us talk about getting points for your coaches hitting Success Club points, like it's not, that's not your Success Club points. There are 2 separate recognition categories. And I probably hit Team Builder. I mean, I don't know how to go back and look at that, but probably the last like 2-ish years. I think I did a Team Builder, and the next year I got Team Leader, and then last year I got Premier. So they do like stack on each other. Doesn't mean it's going to happen like boom, 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 boom like that, but it's like you got to start somewhere, and then you start getting familiar with the activities that get you to each category, and then it just compounds. Like then more people do those things, and that is how it happens. And I'm realizing the significance of doing the activities and focusing on the leadership and mentorship of these newer coaches. Older coaches, we're getting to you. You guys rock too. But how that really just builds the sustainability of your whole organization and for their businesses. Like it was so cool getting to see so many new coaches like hitting Success Club and how freaking excited they were. And they'd signed up 3 months before. And then it took them a couple months, but then they finally hit Success Club. And it was like, heck yes, like that's awesome for you to be able to hit it that soon. Or bless all my veteran coaches, you know, like I didn't have these same lofty big goals back then and didn't mentor and lead the same way. So they're seeing their success now and in the tortoise, for like the tortoise team. But I'm excited with having Elite, just knowing a little about it, getting a little familiar with the program. So you know the activities that are going to really help your coaches see success. You got to hit Success Club though. You got to first. If you want your team to do it, you got to do it.
So I have a question. Did you find that once those new people came in and started seeing success, that your older coaches were like, oh crap, like this can really happen. Like I'm going to go for it.
I don't know. You have great questions. I'm sorry, I don't have great answers. I have some older coaches on here. I love saying older coaches. But I know that they knew the impact, like what that meant. They knew the significance of newer coaches hitting Success Starter. And, you know, to me, then they get to see, how is this new coach sharing on social media? How is this new coach showing up in our challenge group? You know, like, so what difference, you know, what do I see this newer coach doing that maybe I can pass on to my newer coaches to start implementing? And I love sending my coaches to other people too. I might send, you know, hey, this person, I'm talking to a prospect right now who's been kind of an off and on customer, kind of iffy on products. But today, it's so funny. Today she said, well, what do I do if like I kind of might want to coach, but like I'm not really big on social media? And she's not. I mean, she has like one story a day at the most, and it's like her kids in the mud. Like it's not a lot. And I said, well, I have some newer coaches who posted very similarly to you before coaching, and it really didn't change a whole lot except for they sprinkled this in. Like I'm going to send you their account so you can see kind of how they do it and get it. Like you can see that you don't have to like spill your social media guts everywhere the way I do. Like you don't have to post the way I post and show up the way I show up to do it and see some success with it. So I don't know if that answered the question.
For sure. Nicole was asking, what was your system? The tracker, maybe? You're muted.
Sorry, I had never printed the tracker off before. So do that. I need to find the new tracker. And oh, this is another weird thing I did. This looks like a hit list. And if your name was up here and it is now whited out, there's a reason for it. So I would put my tracker on here, and then on this little folder page, I wrote down every coach that counted towards Elite point purposes. And I would make a note if they had already earned me a +1 point, if they canceled their account. So I guess they wouldn't be up here. They got whited out, so I didn't see. No, they got that scribbled on their face, like a yearbook. You're canceled. But it's just so it didn't distract me. And I also, God, I feel like I sound like a super nerd with all this. Hold on. I probably could be way more organized than this.
This is like Melissa's dream right now.
Dream?
She's salivating right now.
I can't even, like you're saying the tracker works. This means everyone should post their trackers every Thursday.
Yeah.
Every Thursday.
Oh, shoot. This was the weekly thing. That wasn't a good one. But
Abby says.
I would use a sticky note each month to tracking my Success Club and my girls who got on the board. And then the girls, once you got on the board, like you got all the love from me. Like I was giving you all the attention, not because I didn't want to give you attention anyway, but it also was showing me you've already done the work without me pushing you so far this month. And like you got momentum going. So that's where my attention, we have to work with the willing too. And then the others, you know, hopefully pop up and we encourage them. And yeah, but get the tracker. It's going to look like another language at first, and that's okay. It's okay. Like you just, same with Success Club, you just learn it.
So when you said you gave them all the love, what does that mean? Recognition, one-on-ones, like, what does that look like?
All of the above, whatever they need. What do you need so that you can hit Success Club from me?
Okay.
What do you know? What do you need? Do you have people that you need help talking to? Do you have, putting a call to action on a post? Hey, here's a real idea. Put this out here. Branding themselves, finding their niche. Just maybe giving some feedback on, if they're already doing the things and posting like 2mm tweaks that maybe can help them better, put more power with their posting they're already doing. Yeah.
So if new people are coming in and putting 1 point into the PS +1 category, are you putting them into like a message thread, or are you just working with them on a team page?
We have a ring the bell kind of like in this Fit and Fierce group on our page. So they get, to shout themselves out, or I shout them out there. This is the first month I'm implementing a chat thread. I'm stealing this from Dana, where if you had points on the board last month, you're in a chat message thread with me, and it's anyone in my downline. And Haley said she will, about the older coaches. But so we're trying that. I know for some people that might be overwhelming to be in a chat thread with like that many people, but I'm just seeing if like having that ongoing open communication with everybody is helpful, where maybe they feel like I have some newer coaches, and bless their heart, they'll ask me a really great question in a message, and they'll start with "sorry to bother you." And I'm like, you're not bothering me. Like, please ask me this question. And I don't know how many other coaches, especially in my downline, feel like if they need to ask me something, I don't know. Do any of you need, well, don't answer that, but like, you might feel like, oh gosh, I don't want to bug them with this, or I don't want to bother them with this. And I'm hoping that chat thread kind of makes it like, this is an open invitation. Like, this thing is just ongoing. And if you have questions, this is a place you can just go for it.
Brooke asked, how many times do they have to hit it? I'm thinking she's meaning Success Club, and how many new coaches have to do it?
On average, you need 2 to 3 new coaches hitting Success Club each month. And that it doesn't matter. You could have, I don't know, I'm not good at math, but you could have 25 new coaches hit it in December, and your point category would be the same. So that's just an average over the year each month, but you're going to have some hit it more often, more hit it 1 month, and then not really a lot another month. So it doesn't matter. That's just your average of how many you need to be hitting success. And this is all for elite. This does not mean you need these big numbers to get on to hit the milestones on the road to elite. For example, for team builder, which is your first step, and we'll let the call with Doug Moss go into like the super nitty gritty of this. You need 25 points. So that over the year is about what, 10 people new people hitting success, or not 10 people, 10 times having a new coach. Haley, help me.
So you have to have, you could cap at 50 points in that category, and you get 2 points per coach hitting it. So essentially you need 25 people hitting it over the course of a year. Now that could be one person hitting it 12 times, 2 people hitting it 12 times would get you, the 48 points or whatever. But yeah, so you have to have the 50 points there. So that it's 25.
Yeah. Well, for team builder, oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So for team builder, the first step, like 25 points. Haley, do you want to touch on like the changes that really are gonna be really exciting for the newer or the older? You're our old coaches. If you've been around longer than last year and this year, basically.
Yeah. So there's definitely some exciting changes coming with the Road to Elite, and something that I found really encouraging. The last couple years working with my team pushing to elite is that Gabby has been talking all night about her team hitting elite. You guys, it is a team thing. Like, it was not just Gabby. It was, yes, Gabby put in a ton of hustle and a ton of hard work and a lot of hours to make sure that her team was seeing success, but that's all it is. Elite is a direct reflection of you and your team helping a whole lot of people. And I know that when I first was like, okay, I think I want to go for elite, I felt a little bit like, oh my gosh, I'm putting my goal on other people. But when you break down what elite is, you are just making sure that your team is seeing success. And I don't know about you guys, but if you are leading a team and leading others, you want them to be just as successful, if not more successful than you are, right? So going for elite should be everybody's goal at the beginning of the year. I love the road to elite because it really and truly is a road that you can, make your stops on. The first couple years before they created the road, it was just kind of like this huge like separation between like, okay, here I am, and there's this elite thing that looks really cool. I don't really know what to do, but I'm just going to go for it. And there was no like really guidance. And so I love that the road to elite really breaks it down into the team builder, team leader, premier, and elite. And Doug will go into all the details on this when we get him on a call, like the points that you have to get and what that means for your team. But it really is just like stepping stones to get there. You can't get to elite if you're not team builder first. You can't get to premier if you're not team leader first. And all it is helping more people, you helping people, helping your coaches help more people. Now, in the past, it's kind of felt like, okay, well, if I'm not a new coach, if I didn't sign up in like the last 2 years, I'm not contributing to our team's elite status. Like, so I'm one of Megan's PS coaches. Say I had not been elite yet. I was not 5-star. But I was already diamond. I was already past my 2 years. I felt like, how am I supposed to help in this goal? Well, there wasn't a whole lot of ways to help, except now they are making it even more exciting for you to help your team hit these landmarks of team builder, team leader, premier, elite, because whenever your coaches are gaining these elite points and moving up the ladder, they are also contributing to your points for ranking for elite. So yeah, I don't want to like just like blow your minds because there really is so much detail, but just know that if you're a new coach on here, your goal should be to look at the road to elite and see how far you can make it this year, whether that is all the way to elite, maybe you hit premier, maybe you hit team leader, maybe you hit team builder, because honestly, breaking it down, it's just you doing what you're supposed to be doing and teaching your coaches to do what they're supposed to be doing. So I don't know if that helps at all, Leah, but that's for those of us that are like, okay, Megan, how do we help hit 8-time elite this year? Like, what can we do? Oh, okay. Well, I signed up in 2015. I'm already a diamond. All right. Like, what can I do? There's ways that you can help our big team hit a huge milestone again this year. But while you're doing that, you're also going to be moving your business forward, bringing in more income for your family, bringing in more team for your team, and hitting things for yourself as well. So I don't know if that helps or if that just really confused everybody.
No, that was good. Like, so if you're an older coach, just know that you can still greatly help your team and your upline with the Road to Elite by impacting their ranking within the Road to Elite. So it definitely is still a huge reflection on growth with new coaches, but we need you guys too. The ranking still matters, like our personal rank. And there's also some cool changes with success starter stuff. If you're intimidated by telling your coaches about like hitting Success Club or whatever, like think about the Success Starter program and how exciting it is when they can be in a test group for a new program. And I know as a brand new coach, like if they haven't been doing Beachbody, that might even seem scary, but you never know. Like that might be a huge motivator for them to get to be in a test group. And to be Success Starter, they have to hit it 4 times, 4 months out of their 6 months this year. And I think that's awesome. And has everyone seen the changes about other opportunities to get into test groups now? Did you guys know it's expanding beyond Success Starters this year? Y'all might have to correct me in here. If you're a new Diamond coach and hold for 6 weeks and hit Success Club, there's probably some nitty gritty in here I'm gonna miss, but you can have the opportunity to be in test group if you are a new 2-star Diamond coach. So you hit 2-star, hold for 6 weeks. So say you've already been a lifetime Diamond and you're like, well, great. Nope, hit 2-star is your opportunity. If you've already been 2-star, you can hit 5-star. So this year they've added a lot more opportunities for people to participate in a test group for a program too. So extra incentives to go after, like by you, say you're a Diamond and you're like, okay, how can I further incentivize my strong Emeralds to get to Diamond? If y'all get to Diamond, y'all get in a test group. And guess what? When they go Diamond and hold 2-star for you, you hit 2-star, then all 3 of y'all get to be in the test group together. I think that would be super fun. So that happens with 2, 5, Diamond, 2, 5, and Success Starters who hit it 4 months out of their first 6, I believe. And there are some Success Club requirements within you hitting those ranks. But again, if you're hitting 2-star, 5-star, like you're hitting Success Club, like, right? We're all hitting Success Club, especially when you're at the point when you're close to getting to 2-star and 5-star. All 3 of y'all. What else? What else?
I know there were more. I just lost them all in the chat. Oh, I know Sarah was asking, like, how do you recruit? Can you share about how you find new coaches? How do you recruit them? Did it change over the last 2 years?
I talk about coaching more in my social media than I did. I think I got that tip from, well, probably Megan too. Megan's always dropping the tips, but sometimes we have to hear it lots of different ways from a lot of different people. And then one day it just like, and you're like, oh yeah. But I remember hearing Brooke say that so distinctly Brooke Anderson on some call, and then watching how she was doing it and was like, oh, like, duh. Like I don't ever talk about coaching or, what the opportunity is like, or what what that journey from starting to now looks like. People coming into my social media now are like, oh yeah, that must be nice. She didn't stay at home mom her whole life. And like, her husband works this bougie job and all this stuff. And like, what they don't know is when I signed up, I was in like a really dark place postpartum and I was working full time and didn't know anybody here. So it was just so different. So just talking about why I got into coaching then and why I keep doing it now is very different. And yeah, so talk about coaching more. Watch other people that you connect and relate to and see how they do it, and use it as a framework and repeat that over and over again. I mean, at least should be probably more than once a month, but if like it makes you queasy to think about talking about coaching more than once a month or once, that doesn't seem like enough. If you're on this call, that's not enough. So I would say at least once a week in your stories, you've got to have something talking about coaching specifically. But watch how different people do it, and kind of be like, ooh, I liked how that flow went, and do your version of it with your story. But if you're not talking about coaching, you're not going to be recruiting coaches. Or when you talk to someone about coaching, they're going to be like, why are you talking to me about this? Like, I found you because I wanted to start doing workout stuff, and they never see you talking about coaching. what's your road to elite goal for this year? Did we scare everybody? Did I scare everyone with my I don't know answers?
No, I thought this was really awesome. Elite, 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 Megan.
Every year I say that. Ever since like I came in 11 in 2016, I'm like, I don't know, I'll see. But every year I'm like, okay, fine. It's work, y'all. It's work. But it's like,
There's no going back to coach.
yeah, it's how you make an income with Beachbody. And anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. Like you look at the elite top 10 right now. I mean, that's way out there. Like you can go top 10 if you want, but you look at them and they're all so different. I mean, they really do reflect like so many different types of people that can be successful in this business, which is really, really cool. So, yes. Timeline for Team Builder. So we said earlier in the chat, and that's actually, let's talk about Team Builder because that is the first step. And that's something we should all be focusing on right now. Like whether you're a new coach or a 7-time elite coach. Team Builder is 1 new emerald, 25 elite points. And Gabby told us, the elite points come from your new coaches hitting Success Club from the last 2 years. And oh my gosh, what else makes elite points?
You need to be diamond.
Oh yeah, you had to. Oh, for Team Builder, you have to be diamond. Oh, well, obviously. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's 1,000 weak leg volume. I never pay attention to that because like if your coaches are hitting Success Club and you're growing and doing the things, like your volume's gonna grow. So I never really have paid attention to that. I'm sure one year it's going to be like, oh, Megan, your TV is low. And I'm going to be like, what? But for 5 weeks accumulate.
I don't think that would happen for you, Megan.
Should I post the volume on the left
Please.
and make it a race for you guys? Will you race?
Yes, I will.
Oh man.
But
yeah.
Can I just say that it's really cool, even if you don't understand the volume stuff, which I really don't, the breakdown of the tracker will allow you to follow it in your back office every single week. So you can just sort of plug it in and see where it is and just see what numbers you need to get to where you want to go.
I was just gonna, so Gabby said, end of March, April timeframe is good, a good timeline for Team Builder. And I would say that's a pretty good thing to set for yourself this year is at the end of each quarter, move up a step on the ladder or at least be close to it. Wait, how many rungs are there? Are there 4? Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. But I will say we all came in at elite at like December 31st because, oh my gosh, go ahead and change your Shakeology order for the beginning of the month because I was like panicked because my Shakeology order didn't ship till the 28th of December and it like my points wouldn't update. And I was like, I don't get it. I was like calling Doug at the last minute. He's like, Megan, shut up. I'm on Christmas break. And I'm like, but you have to help. He's like, order Shakeology. I was like, oh, it's my fault. So yeah. So to save yourself some panic, I'm going to move my Shakeology order to the beginning of the month because you need that to qualify for a Success Club. Don't forget that. Make sure you tell your coaches that too. Tracker class. It's a good idea. All right. I think that was a good call. Thanks, Gabby, for all your knowledge. Gabby, like,
Welcome. I hope it was helpful.
no, it's so helpful. She asked the hardest
Snaps
question.
for Gabby.
Yay.
Yeah, and if you guys ever like have questions, I feel like I asked Haley lots of questions leading up to this with all the tricks and the hacks and stuff, but
Haley
just-
knows a lot too.
she does. Yeah. So a lot of, yep, lean
I
on
know.
the people who have walked the path before you. There are no stupid questions. Print the tracker. Whenever Doug does a call, get back on it. It's going to just be like preferred customer. We all heard the training and it made our brains leak out of our ears. And now it's kind of like second nature again. Total Solution Pack, same thing. Like it's going to be that same way. Or Success Club. God, the first time I learned about Success Club, like the heck are we talking about? What is this? And I mean, it's just kind of like that slightly leveled up version of all of that. You just have to hear it a few different ways and ask good questions and just encourage your coaches to get those early wins so they can
For
build that
sure.
momentum.
For sure. All right, guys. Thanks for joining.
We
Everybody
need a
have-
boomerang.
Oh,
wait.
oh.
I'm gonna stop recording.